Mtazamaji ujambo popote pale ulipo, tarehe 8 leo mwezi wa Disemba mwaka 2025, nikitumai buheri wa afya popote pale ulipo. Siku nyingine ambapo tumekuandalia mada nzuri ya kuzungumzia na vile vile tuangazie taarifa ambazo tumezipa kipaumbele kutoka maeneo tofauti. Tutakuwa tunajumuika na wanahabari wetu wamekita kambi maeneo tofauti kutupasha na ujiri kwa sasa, lakini kama ilivyo kawaida kwenye sehemu ya ukumbi leo tutazungumzia Kenya ya matajiri, mada ambayo bila shaka iko kwenye vinywa vya watu wengi baada ya shirika la Oxfam kutoa taarifa kuhusiana na matajiri walioko nchini, ikisemekana wapo 125 tu ambao wanamiliki mabilioni ya pesa, lakini Wakenya wengi zaidi ya milioni 42.5 wamesalia katika hali ya uchochole. Tutajiuliza tumefika hapa namna gani? Mbona Wakenya wanajikuta katika hali hii? Na je, serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, je, inaweza kumwokoa mwananchi wa kawaida kufikia kiwango ambapo yeye anaweza kujihisi kwamba pia naye ana senti za kumfanya kuwa tajiri au namna gani? Mada yetu itakuwa tunaizungumzia pamoja na wageni wetu Anet Nerima, meneja wa programu KHRC, Keno Nyango, mwenyekiti chama cha waendeshaji bodaboda hapa jijini Nairobi, Roda Kinya ambaye yuko katika sekta ya jua kali, na vile vile Rogers Kidia ambaye yuko katika shirika la Oxfam Kenya. Watatusaidia katika mada yetu ya leo, lakini kwa sasa tuanze na taarifa tulizozipa kipaumbele. Karibu. Tume huru ya uchaguzi na uratibu wa mipaka inasema chaguzi ndogo zilizopita zilitoa taswira kamili ya utayari wake wa kusimamia uchaguzi mkuu ujao, licha ya changamoto kadhaa za utovu wa usalama. Makamishna wa tume hiyo wanazungumza na washikadau kwenye mkutano wa kutathmini mafanikio na mapungufu ya chaguzi hizo za Novemba 27. Hem, tusikilize yanayosema kwa sasa.
To transparency and accountability, the very purpose for which this commission exists. If I had to summarize the last 12 months, which is the reporting period, it would be a year characterized by both resilience, strategic growth, and focused execution. It was a period of transition, straddling beyond one administration, which is two administrations. Looking back today, I'm proud of the successes we have realized as a commission in the period under review. The past year has not only tested our resolve, but also proven our impact. I am pleased to highlight some key areas where we have not only stood firm, but advanced
all the areas that are supposed to be, and we uploaded all the result forms in that public results portal. And Kenyans who cared, Kenyans who are following keenly, were able to access those results in a timely manner. So as I said, the security minimized incidences of disruption, and generally the exercise went on smoothly. Of course, we as IEBC also suffered some incidents in the course of those incidences in places like Mbere North, Kasipul, Narok Town, Kabuchai Chwele, Malava, Nyansiongo, Kerenyo, and Fafi. There were incidences where even our poll officials, our officers, were assaulted. And we condemned these incidences of assault, not only against our officers, but also against the general public. We also witnessed vandalism and destruction of election materials. All these incidences were reported, and I think they are being processed by the National Police. We had situations where some 6 polling stations were affected by this kind of incidences of assault and vandalism. Voter bribery and impersonation, we cannot bury our heads in the sand. These things happened, and something must be done about them. interference by organized groups. We've spoken about that issue of mobilization of goons. And for this by-election, I don't know whether it will happen in the general election. We witnessed some people called super agents. We need to find a dictionary definition of super agents, what these super agents are. Yeah, we had super agents. Most of them were sitting members of parliament or senior politicians in opposition. And the challenge around this super agents business is that when these people show up in a small polling station in Nyansiongo, Kerenyo, or somewhere, they overrun the polling station because they will come in accompanied by their so-called supporters, who is another category of super agents, but they are not the face of it. And we saw that had a very disruptive impact on the manner in which the polling was progressing. Because we opened our polling stations early in the morning at 6. By around 10, 11, when these super agents show up with their bunch of supporters, making noise and all that show of might and strength, then it disrupts the manner in which the peace around our polling station. So that's one of the things that we witnessed, and something must be done about it if this phenomenon will exist beyond the by-elections. So in terms of our successes, we would like to extend our gratitude to Parliament and the National Treasury for giving us budget for the by-election, specifically. For 2027, that is still a matter that is pending. We hope they will extend the same spirit and commitment to funding the next general election on time, so that then, learning from this experience of the by-election, with adequate resources, early disbursements, we are able to procure our materials, we're able to recruit our staff, we're able to train them, and we're able to set up the polling stations. We also, of course, I talked about smooth candidate registration process, ballot. I think for the first time in the history of this country, we saw ballot papers arriving and the manner in which it was being handled, from the Jomo Kenyatta cargo terminal all the way to the security, to a very secure warehouse. And then from there, we deployed almost immediately without waste of time, because they arrived, the last arrived on Wednesday. By Thursday, already they were moving out to the respective polling areas, and all that accompanied by the media, the agents, and all that. So we'll continue to perfect that to ensure that transparency, so that even when some people are making allegations that Chairman IEBC is staffing ballot somewhere, I mean, I think the media and the people just looked at these people like, are you kidding us, you know? Are you joking? Because the same pellets are seated right there in front of the same person making those allegations. So instead of him waiting for that to be opened, then he makes these wild allegations. And I think there will be such things in future, but you will help us as a media and as responsible citizens to dispel any kind of disinformation around that. Kim's kit, technology works. So please support us as we improve on technology to make sure things are efficient and transparent. The portal, public portal, is actually supposed to be for verifiability, transparency and verifiability. I know there's a debate going on around this National Tallying Center and all that and all that. And we have some cases that have gone to court. No problem. We welcome any step, any litigation that is aimed at improving things. If what we have is not sufficient enough, and there is something we can tweak, we can improve, this IEBC welcomes such. So, with time, I would really request our civil society, the political parties, to train, to educate Kenyans on the importance of that results portal. When we upload the form from that polling stations, already signed by our presiding officer, your own political party agents or your independent candidate agent, and confirmed results are uploaded to the public portal. It's supposed to be a mechanism. You check the original form against what is in the portal so that we ensure the results can be verified and it is a true reflection of the original. So make use of that. So, of course, as I conclude, we had challenges around voter apathy. Hiyo si mnajua. So we need to ask ourselves as Kenyans, IEBC ndio shida ama iko shida malingine? Because the problem with this country, everything IEBC. Even where political parties and their candidates scare the voters, then they blame IEBC. Even where sometimes we in the media also hit IEBC so hard and make it look so bad, and citizens stay away from that bad IEBC, then you still come and blame the same IEBC. So we need as Kenyans to think and reflect about what are we doing to democracy in our country. Are we building that democracy, or are we directly or indirectly undermining that democracy by whatever we say, whatever we do, and how we act? So voter apathy is a big problem, and it did not start with these by-elections. Those of you who have been in this field long enough know. 2017, the voter turnout was 78.9%. 2022, the figures came down to 64.4%. So in percentage terms, a 10% gap translates to almost, if you do 22 million voters, that's how many? That's over 2 million. And mainly young people. They did not show up. Why? We need to ask ourselves. Kama ni IEBC ndio ilikuwa pia responsible, mtasema tu. But there is a problem in this country with voter apathy. Then attempts by political actors to influence election officials. Tulisema tutatumikia hii country bila woga, bila mapendeleo. We witnessed these attempts by political actors to try and infiltrate and to influence our election officials. Now sometimes I wonder what value. Kama umepiga kampeni yako vizuri, unajua wewe kabisa unajipiga kifua, you are going, you are popular. Why do you want to look to harass our presiding officers and returning officers? You want to secure an illegitimate victory. Then unasema tu you are a leader. And the manner in which you secured your victory is questionable. So there were those attempts, and I will not mince my words. So again, we have to do something about that. That desperation that makes people attempt the impossible. And it's high time political actors learn. Where is the chairman of PPLC? Yes, my friend Misati. Train your people that to steal election in this country is an impossibility. These returning officers here can confirm to you, even observers, honest observers will tell you, the media that witnessed these by-elections, it's impossible. Ukipewa shilingi 1,500 utapata kura wapi ya kuweka kwa box na utawekelea wapi mbele ya all these cameras and eyes? It is an impossibility. So let us get that clear. Of course, so in conclusion, because I've spoken so much, let us keep that spirit of cooperation, collaboration, partnership as we build our democracy, as we take it to greater heights. Most often when you're in this country, you feel like the world has come to an end. IEBC is not working. I don't know, this is not working. That is not working. But when you step across, when you board the aircraft, you go to one of these countries, down south or up north, that's when you realize, actually we're in paradise here. Our systems are working, our democracy is working, and largely because we are hard on ourselves. And I thank you, those of you who keep on holding us to account, because it's through holding us accountable, it's because of putting us through pressure that we perfect our democracy, that we perfect our institutions. I thank you very much.
Na mtazamaji, mwenyekiti wa tume IEBC hapo akizungumza kuhusiana na chaguzi